Watch and burn.
Hey everybody! So tonight I would like to discuss, I think it's when the hell did this come? Oh, the 1998 film Disturbing Behavior, starring Katie Holmes and Nick Stahl and other people whose names I can't remember. Basically what this tells the story of is you got Steve, he moves here with his family after his brother died. Him and his sister and his parents move into this new town where he meets Rachel, who is of course Katie Holmes, and her friend Gavin, played by Nick Stahl. And he also meets the Blue Ribbons. And the Blue Ribbons are sort of his high school's version of sort of Brady Bunch perfection. They're all got the school, the varsity blue colors on, hence why they're called the Blue Ribbons, sorry. And they have this Leave It to Beaver vibe, but they're so psychotic about how exclusive they are. You know there's something really wrong with these people. And it doesn't take long before it's discovered that it's actually the school psychologist / doctor or whatever the fuck he is. He's taking problematic kids and he's rewiring their brains so that they come out perfect in sort of like Blue Ribbons, where they're academically they overperform, athletic-wise they overperform, and as far as being perfect model citizens, they outperform everybody there too. The catch being that the second they get a little turned on, they go psychotic. So the one guy tries to rape Katie Holmes because of what's been done to him. The girl that tries to make out with the good-looking Steve dude, she starts saying like bad thoughts and all the shit and starts throwing her face through a mirror in his house. And so that's kind of a problem with this. And the doctor who's doing this to them doesn't really give a fuck. He is clearly so megalomaniacal that something needs to be done about him. So push comes to shove, and Nick Stahl's character, Gavin, ends up being nominated next, and he becomes a Blue Ribbon. And he's no longer friends with Rachel and Steve. And UV, his buddy, his albino buddy, him and UV were drug dealers, and he's no longer that guy. He points out early on that half the Blue Ribbons were his old stoner friends, and now they're Blue Ribbons and they're completely alien and they're all like Sweet Valley High. Well, if Sweet Valley High was a bunch of sociopaths, which actually Sweet Valley High, that book series was kind of about a bunch of sociopaths. Those people in that book series were just a little too perfect. And so, yeah, you find out that the doctor dude who's been doing all the experiments and the brainwashing and the brain rewiring, he practiced on his daughter because Rachel and Steve end up at the town asylum where they find her, and he doesn't care about anybody. And so everything goes crazy. The school janitor turns out to be way smarter than he let on, and he ends up figuring out a way to sort of fuck with the Blue Ribbons by using different audio frequencies because they're like dogs in the sense that they can't take certain high-pitched sounds. And he ends up leading them all off a cliff at the end, and he says the line from, Pink Floyd's The Wall. He's like, "Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone," as they're going over the cliff into the water below, where so all the Blue Ribbons are gone, and the town is saved, and Steve and Rachel, they escape the tyranny of their parents for wanting to make Steve into a Blue Ribbon like they did with Gavin. So they get on this ferry, and they take off, so everything's going to be okay now. I mean, this movie's wonderful, okay? I'm not knocking it. This is a late 1990s stupid teen horror movie in the same vein of I Know What You Did Last Summer or the first Scream movie. So whereas this movie is incredibly flawed, it is also incredibly fun. This is just like Urban Legend or The House on Haunted Hill or Fear.com. All of these movies are incredibly stupid, but all of these movies are incredibly fun. And of course, at the end of the movie, you find out that Gavin lived. And he's now at some tough inner city school starting to teach the tough inner city kids. And it looks like he's going to take up the doctor's work and start the Blue Ribbons up anew. And that's how the movie concludes. And it's so 90s. And this movie is so rad because I love this period of horror because there's that perfect blend of believability and stupidity. Then they meld together to create this sort of perfect mixture of fun and dumb. You don't mind giving this an hour and a half of your life. I've watched Disturbing Behavior countless times. I saw it in the theaters back when it came out in 98, and I've loved it ever since because, like I said, it's the perfect blend of sort of like, this is what I'd do if I was in that situation, and it's like all about kid power, and the teens are rebelling, and they're going to take over the Blue Ribbons, and they're going to save the day, and they're going to save their school. And it's dumb because this would never happen. So look, I'm going to stop talking. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for almost 5 minutes while I discuss the 1998 teen horror film, and that is Disturbing Behavior. Like always, if you like this review, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. But please, most importantly, don't forget that the world is actually a better place because you are in it. Like always, I'm gonna go. Have a good night.